Happy Friday, Kimberly parents, and not just any happy Friday. Happy last Friday before spring break. Yay! All of us get one whole week off next week. My name is Mr. Sally, and I want to welcome you to another edition of my weekly Principals Bulletin. I'm so blessed to be the principal here at Kimberly Elementary School, where we strive to build hope in action, belief in action, success in action. Stay tuned for some very important updates that should all connect to our school goals of creating better readers, creating better mathematicians, and creating a better school culture. Just some school discipline updates. I do want to continue reminding our parents that as we are entering springtime, many of our boys and girls are forgetting that school is a place of learning and not the place for fun, unless, of course, we're planning a fun learning activity. Please remind your boys and girls that recess happens only during that 15 minutes of recess that we have here at school on non-PE days, and that they will get an opportunity to play once they get home. They need to be focused and on task in class at all times, especially our 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade boys and girls who are gearing up for Georgia Milestone, which will take place the first week in May. We want to remind our boys and girls that when they exit those classrooms and they get into those hallways, that even though it's a large space, it's not a ready, set, go. I've been on duty in the hallway today and on a couple other days, and kids come out of the room and first thing they want to do is start off running. Please remind your youngsters that it's not that we don't want them to get the exercise. We don't want them to hurt themselves or others. As they're running down the hallway, it's easy for them to trip. Someone else may be walking out of a classroom at the same time that they're running. They won't be able to stop fast enough, and then they'll collide with them. So it's important that they understand that all of the rules that we have here at Kimberly Elementary School are for their safety and the safety of others. Again, we want to remind our boys and girls to watch their voice levels in the cafeteria and remain in their seat unless they have permission at all times. We do realize that that is one of the few times they get to socialize with their classmates, but it's important that they are mindful of the fact that they must stay in their seats and they must keep their voices to a level where it's conversational. Students are not allowed to bring slime to school at any time, and please refrain from having your kids out these next couple of months of school. It's very important that they are here every day. So again, I want to remind you again that spring break starts on Monday, April the 1st, and it'll last through April the 5th. We'll come back to school on Monday, April the 8th. I hope that all of you have planned some great activities for your youngsters for this break. If nothing else, make sure that they are reading at least 30 minutes a day and that they're practicing their math facts. And for our 5th graders, that they're actually looking over some social studies and science vocabulary, because that will help them to be better prepared for the social studies and science Georgia Milestone test. Our human growth and development classes for 5th grade will begin when we get back from spring break on April the 8th. We sent home letters last week asking parents if they were okay with their kids being a part of this. That is an opt-out letter, which means that if you do not return it, your kid will be participating in that. If you return it, not wanting your kid to participate in it, we will find another location for them. But I would suggest parents, just by virtue of some of the issues that we deal with some of our youngsters and some of the things that they're influenced by, they need the class. So understand that that is a great opportunity for them to get some questions answered, and hopefully for us to teach them to be responsible about the things that they say, do, and see. STAR testing, which is our bench, it's actually a test that we take in reading and math to determine how our kids are growing over the year. Will begin for our pre-K through 5th grade students April 8th through the 30th. So we'll be doing that the month of April. Our Ronald McDonald Asthma Van will be back on April the 11th. And also on April the 11th from 8 a.m. until 9 a.m. we'll have our Title I Parent Engagement Spring Input Meeting. That's an opportunity for you to review our Title I Parent Engagement Plan, as well as our school goals, and be able to give some input as to things that you would like to see happening here at Kimberly Elementary School to engage you in the learning process. Our 4th graders will be taking a trip on April the 11th as well. That's a busy day here at Kimberly Elementary School. They'll be going to the Alliance Theater. If you have not already returned your permission slip for that trip, please make sure that you do so. If there are any costs associated with that trip, please also make sure that you are paying those. We have a 1st grade trip on April the 12th, and they are going to the aquarium. That is a district funded trip, so there is no cost associated with that one, but we do need a permission slip. Our fifth graders, we actually have 40 fifth graders who will be attending our Camp Fortson trip. So I want to say thank you to those parents who either returned permission slips and their full deposit or partial deposits, or just return permission slips letting me know that they were unable to make a deposit at this time. So we have 40 of the kids going. So that's half of our fifth graders that'll be attending that trip. It's not all of my fifth graders, but at least half. And so we will take those 40 kids on that trip April 15th through the 17th, remembering that that's an overnight trip. Other news, we had GMAS simulation this past week. Our boys and girls actually got an opportunity to experience what it will be like to take the Georgia Milestone and what tools are available for them in that online platform. That online session went well. It's not only an opportunity for our kids to get the online experience, but it's also an opportunity for our district to test our wireless network to ensure that we won't have any snags when the kids are taking the actual test. We sent home report cards this past Thursday. And we also mailed report cards home. So you should get those in the mail. If not today, you'll probably get them on Saturday or Monday. If you do not receive a report card in the mail over the spring break, please let us know, because we did mail report cards home for all of our youngsters. But your boys and girls should have also brought home a copy of their report card as well. We had a great day today. Today was filled with lots of parents and lots of fun activities. We had STEM Day here for our parents. For our kids. We had Lunch and Love for our parents. We had an ice cream truck out there for our kids and parents. Today was just a phenomenal last day here before spring break. I want to say thank you in advance to all of those parents who came out today and celebrated with us today and had an opportunity to have lunch with their youngster. We will try more of these lunch and love days with our youngsters. I'm going to talk to my parent liaison, and maybe we can plan one of these each quarter, so that way there's an opportunity for you to get here and actually have some lunch with your kids. I saw many parents excited they were finally able to bring outside food to the school today, and so for some of our youngsters, that was probably the most fun part of the lunch with their parent today. We have 2 study abroad trips that are happening right now. We have the one to Mexico, and then we have a couple of youngsters that are in Washington, D.C., along with Continental Colony. We want to wish them well. Our D.C. trip students, they left this morning. Our Mexico students, they actually left last week Friday, I think it was. Yeah, they left last week Friday, and they'll be back Sunday. So we want to definitely wish them well. I've been seeing lots of pictures from Mexico, and so we will can't wait to see them back. So before I get all tongue-tied, do want to remind you also today our boys and girls are bringing home spring break work packets in grades 3 through 5. So if you would please encourage them to participate in that. It's actually reading and doing some activities with them, and math, some reading and math activities that they can do over the spring break. So I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to join me during my weekly video bulletin. If you know anyone that's not getting this message, it may be because we don't have a correct phone number for them, we don't have a correct email address for them, they're not following us on Facebook, Twitter, or they're not on Class Dojo. Hey, we send it out all those different ways. Please tell them to contact the school so that way we can get them connected. Make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. We are Panthers who roar, respect others, own responsibility, always safe and ready at all times.